As of the time of writing, Alison Brie and Dave Franco's Together has a near-perfect 99% score on the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter, surpassing the rest of 2025's horror films. It's been a solid year for scary movies, with some of the biggest successes of 2025 at the box office being independent horror movies like Sinners or returning franchises like Final Destination. Those movies have also been doing well with critics. However, neither of them is the most acclaimed horror movie of the year. That honor goes to Together, Alison Brie and Dave Franco's body horror relationship dramedy. Focusing on a couple who find themselves merging into a single body, Together has been riding high since it debuted at the Sundance Film Festival to rave reviews. The reception has only gotten more pronounced as time has gone on, with Together currently one of Rotten Tomatoes' best reviewed films of 2025. Here's what critics are saying about Together and how it's helping the film stand out in a crowded field. What critics are saying about Together. Critics love Together for the body horror, the performances, and the thematic weight of the writing. Together Alison Brie Dave Franco couple. Together has been met with almost universally positive reviews, with a strong debut at the Sundance Film Festival cementing it as one of the best-rated horror films of 2025 on Rotten Tomatoes. Many critics left the 2025 Sundance Film Festival, including Screen Rant's Patrice Witherspoon, praising Together, building up momentum for it in the film industry. This led to a palpable sense of excitement among other critics, raising anticipation and expectations for the movie. The fact that Together met these heights is partly why critics love it. Plenty have praised the film, including Ross Boname from Collider, B.J. Colangelo from Fangoria, Britt Hayes from MovieWeb, Tomris Lafley from Roger Ebert, and Aisha Harris of NPR. Even the more mixed reviews are ultimately positive, with a single negative review preventing it from maintaining a perfect score. Collider senior producer Perry Nemiroff was particularly positive about the film, sharing her thoughts about the film on her YouTube channel. The time of writing, Together has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a very impressive feat for Together, especially considering that it's Michael Shank's feature-length directorial debut. While the filmmaker has made some well-received shorts and television episodes, Together's success will likely move him into the spotlight. Together's mesh of body horror, dark comedy, and character pathos makes it a uniquely effective blend of genres that keeps one engrossed in its tight execution. Together's thematic introspection of relationships lands thanks to great performances, and it features some genuinely horrifying visuals. While many of the reviews of Together don't give it a perfect score, they all seem to enjoy at least some aspects of the film enough to forgive the problems. The fact that it stars a real-life married couple only adds to the chemistry and complexity, giving it a rawness and authenticity that critics seem to be eating up. How Together's Rotten Tomatoes score compares to 2025's other horror movies. Together stands out amid a crowded field of well-received scary stories. Together is currently among the best-reviewed films of 2025 at all, with a strong showing of 99% elevating it above almost every other wide release. At the time of writing, there are only two films that still have a perfect 100% score released so far in 2025, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl and Ephus. This is especially impressive when comparing Together to other horror films released in 2025, many of which have also been earning good reviews. One of 2025's biggest box office success stories has been the thunderous response to Sinners, but Ryan Coogler's vampire period piece has a 97% tomato meter score. The year has had plenty of other strong entries in the genre, like The Ugly Stepsister, 96%, Strange Harvest, 94%, Final Destination Bloodlines, 93%, and Companion, 93%. Other films like 28 Years Later, Bring Her Back, Presence, Dangerous Animals, The Monkey, Heart Eyes, and Drop have earned certified fresh status, but can't match Together's score. What makes Together's reviews unique compared to other recent horror releases is the way it seems to be appealing to almost every type of film critic. The genre fans are embracing the body horror and scary imagery, while audiences obsessed with dark comedy can find plenty of grim laughs. The more high-minded critics seem to be intrigued by the film's purposefully complex and contradictory views on modern relationships, while fans of performance are deeply impressed by what Alison Brie and Dave Franco bring to the film. There are even hints of a creepier underbelly to the setting, making it a likely fan favorite for years to come. It's a real variety of elements that come together to make an impressive whole, and it seems that critics have been thoroughly impressed. In a sense, Together really has something for everyone, which is reflected in the way so many different types of critics have come out in support of the movie. This seems to be why the film has earned such a positive reception. It's also just really good. The movie works on almost every level as a horror movie. Although it remains to be seen if Together can match the impressive box office of something like Sinners, the critical accolades from across the year have cemented it as one of the genre's best outings of the year.